Built 4,500 years ago, the Great Pyramid of Giza occupies 13 acres of the Egyptian desert. It is comprised of roughly 2.3 million individual stones. To understand the physical mass involved, we have to look at the total weight, 5.75 million tons, or heavy lifting machinery. Yet they managed to maneuver stones weighing up to 80 tons and fit them together with millimeter precision. To understand how this was physically achieved, we have to look past the legends and audit the specific logistics and engineering methods used at the construction site. The first logistical challenge was the material. The inner chambers require granite, a stone so dense that it would instantly dull the copper chisels used by Egyptian masons. Archaeological evidence shows they used a material workaround, spheres of dolerite. These are naturally heavy, hard stones used to repeatedly pound and chip the granite into shape through sheer impact. To extract the blocks from the quarry, workers utilized the properties of wood. They hammered dry wooden wedges into natural fissures in the bedrock. When soaked with water, the wood fibers expand. This expansion generates enough outward pressure to force the massive stone faces to snap apart. Once cut, these stones had to travel. The primary granite quarry in Aswan is located 800 kilometers south of the Giza Plateau. Ancient papyrus logs confirm that the builders utilized the Nile River. They built specialized barges designed to float these multi-ton blocks downstream during the flooding season. On land, the blocks were moved using large wooden sleds. However, dragging these colossal weights across dry desert sand creates a specific physical problem. This simulation shows dry sand bunching up, creating a pile that blocks the sled. But adding precise moisture makes the sand rigid, cutting friction in half and allowing the sled to glide smoothly. The transport phase was handled not through brute force, but through an empirical mastery of the local physics. Once the stones reached the site, they had to be lifted to a final height of 482 feet. Many assume an external ramp was used, but this model shows it would require more material than the pyramid itself. Instead, this X-ray view illustrates architect Jean-Pierre Houdin's hypothesis, a built-in winding ramp system ferrying stones upward inside the outer shell. Executing this required a workforce of roughly 30,000 people, working continuously for 2 to 3 decades. Archaeological findings have clarified the status of these workers. Excavated barracks show they were provided with professional medical care and a high-protein diet of cattle and sheep, luxury rations for the time. This level of investment in worker welfare indicates a state-sponsored infrastructure project. For the builders, constructing the pharaoh's tomb was a high-status professional duty that sustained thousands of families for a generation. In its original state, the pyramid was encased in polished white limestone, giving it a smooth, reflective surface. It was topped with a golden capstone called a pyramidion. This was designed to act as a mirror, reflecting the sun across the desert landscape. The finished structure shows a specific geographic orientation. The builders aligned the 4 outer walls toward true north with a margin of error of less than 1/15 of a degree. This aerial diagram reveals a rare geometric feature. The pyramid actually has 8 sides. Each face is slightly concave, an indent that only becomes visible from above when the light hits at a specific angle during the solar equinox. Research continues as new data emerges. Ground scans in 2025 are scheduled to map the plateau, while robotic cameras have recently documented red symbols painted inside the structure's narrowest internal shafts. The Great Pyramid remains a physical record of what was possible in the Bronze Age, a project achieved through the precise management of material and tens of thousands of people over a generation.